Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. This video is gonna be very exciting because I got all three of the new Cheeky Flush blushes by Nimya. They just got to me like an hour ago and I was like, I have to film with these. I have to try this out because I'm so excited to see what these are actually like. So let's get into it. So I have to preface this video by saying my skin has been very irritated by something. I'm not sure what the past few days. It's a little better now. It's looking a little better now, but it is a little bit dry and crepey. So I'm looking a little crazy. At least I feel like I am. But this is gonna be the ultimate test for these blushes. I'm gonna be putting them to the ultimate test. Because if they're gonna look good on this skin, by the way, I'm wearing a different blush now. I was filming another video before and then these came in and I was like, okay, I have to like get to it. I have to get this up for you to tell you if this is worth it. But yeah, we're dealing with a little bit of situation. Let's just get into the blushes. Like, at least I feel like you need to know what's going on with this whole skin situation. All right, and the blushes come in this really cute light blue packaging. They all come in this little cute box and they all have a free sponge in them, a little free mini sponge. These are the Cheeky Flush Cream Blush and Nikki describes them as her favorite product that she's ever launched. And she's saying that this is like the perfect blush. And we have some really interesting bright shades here. Alright, the first shade that I have here is the shade Pink Ranger, which is a very bright bubblegum pink shade. As you can see in the swatch, it's actually not as crazy pigmented, at least as I was thinking it was. I felt like it blended out pretty easily. I could pick it up with the sponge. And when picking it up with the sponge, I didn't feel like it was like clinging to anything. Was swatching it was pretty easy to blend. It didn't feel too crazy pigmented and I was kind of scared about that. Like, that was the only thing I was kind of like unsure about. And we have the shade Hey Carl, and I think that's just the funniest name. I actually really like the name. And this is a pretty red coral, but it also leans a little like warm orangey. It's definitely a bright shade. This one was the one where I was like, I don't know if I'm personally gonna really love that, but I wanted to show you all the shades. I wanted to get the bundle deal. I thought these were really like affordable. So I just ended up getting everything. We're gonna see how it's gonna look on the face. And then the last shade is the Cheeky Flush Cream Blush in Picture Perfect Peach. A very like neon-y peach it seems in the swatch. It looks very bright. A little similar to Hey Carl. I feel like for a collection with three blushes, it seems a little similar. We're gonna see how it looks on the cheeks. We're gonna see how they apply. Maybe they will pull very different on the actual skin. I don't know. We're just gonna see what it is. I do feel like these shades are very interesting. I am kind of like happy to see that we have some like different shades. Like she could have gone for like a pink and then two nudes or something like that, but we did get something a little bit different. I'm excited to try them out. I'm excited to see them on the skin. I did want to mention how much product is actually in here. So they are about like $13.99 per blush, but you can get them for, I don't know, what was it, like 33 euros in a bundle. These are 5 milliliters each, and that is 5 grams each. I don't know what that is in like fluid ounces or whatever. I'm in the Netherlands, I don't know about that stuff. But I brought this one out to kind of compare. This is the Moira Love Heat Cream Blush. And this one has 2.7 grams. This Nimya blush seems very small. It seems like tiny, petite. But this one has twice the amount of product this one has. And it's in a teeny tiny, very travel friendly. It looks almost like an eyeshadow packaging, but I'm kind of like here for it. I like it. And then the mini sponge, which makes it really easy to actually grab the product. Like the sponge is free, okay? So be aware of that. There is a way to applicate for free with these products. I feel like the brightness, it's kind of like hard for the camera to pick up because it's so kind of like neon-y, but I feel like they kind of thought about everything and I feel like they are very affordable for the amount of product that you get. Like, I believe I paid like 10 euros for this and this is a few euros more and it is just like twice the product. Alright, I'm gonna take off the situation that I have here on my face right now. Put a little bit of base down to kind of like make the canvas a little more even than my current like crazy skin. And then we'll go to some applications. Alright, so I refreshed my base. I just took my day cream and kind of wiped the blush off with that. That is a trick, like something you can do if you have really dry skin, you want to remove something, you can use a cream. Like I didn't want to irritate my skin for this. And then I use the Soft Glam Face Filter Fluid by Catrice. Just apply that with a brush. So you know what is going on underneath. No foundation, but a little bit of a base. And I want to start out with the shade Hey Carl, the more corally shade. And I'm hoping this is gonna be good. Oh, by the way, I'm not even wearing bronzer. Should I apply bronzer first? Okay, no. I'm gonna start out without the bronzer to really see the color of these blushes. Okay, I'm gonna dip in with the sponge and I'm kind of scared. And I'm just gonna start applying. Kind of trying to mimic what Nikki does with these blushes. I picked up a little bit. Okay, that is... that's a lot. Okay, let's see if we can blend it with the sponge. Otherwise, I will have to grab another brush to kind of blend the edges. I do have to say the formula looks really nice. Really like airbrushed, very bright. Okay, I think I might have to go into something else. I think I might have grabbed a little too much. Okay, I'm just gonna grab... I just want to grab a clean brush, but a smaller brush. Okay, this highlighter brush is currently clean, no highlighter on it or anything. I'm just gonna blend out the edges with this. Just going over the edges, seeing if I can kind of make this look a little more blended. Like, it's definitely an interesting blush. And I would have to say I like this color more than I was expecting. Like, it's pulling a little bit more pinky coral on my cheeks. And that is something that I personally prefer. It's also, I have a cooler undertone, so it might pull differently on you, but on me, I feel like it's pulling more, I don't know, wearable for my skin tone and undertone. Okay, I'm just using the brush that I used to apply my base, and now it looks very blended. Okay, I think that really fixed the whole situation. It's looking a little red. Maybe it's gotten a little further than I was expecting because it was more pigmented than I was expecting. Or was it? I don't know, was it? I just needed to try it. I think I have to zoom you in a little bit for this situation. I feel like it's looking good. I do have to say I really like the Catrice as a base. Like, it's bringing out a little bit of glow. It doesn't feel sticky or anything, but I still feel that it's creamy. I think I do like it. I think it did blend well over my crazy skin. But of course, because this is a little bit more red, this shade, it might look a little bit more like focused on a different, better skin day. I am gonna take the peach one, Picture Perfect Peach. I'm gonna put that on the other side because I also want to see if I see a difference between this one and the Hey Carl one on the cheeks. Like, I feel like these are most similar, so I'm gonna apply one on each cheek. I'm gonna take this on the sponge and I'm dipping in twice. I dipped in twice, and let's start. I'm starting at the same spot. This one is definitely more warm, more orange leaning. Even though it is a peach, it leans very warm, like more yellow undertone. I like the precision of this sponge, but I do have to say that blending out, like really blending out the edges, I find a little hard with this product, but that could be me. Maybe I don't know how to use a sponge like this. So I'm taking that highlighter brush again and I'm just going over the edges. I do really like this shade as well. I do feel like they pull really different on the cheeks. Like, do you see that? Do you see how warm and bright and, I don't know, kind of neon this side is? But both, I would say, are still pretty wearable. Like I blended it in quite a bit on this side. And gonna do the same with the brush to make it look as similar as possible with the application. I didn't expect this, but I feel like the Hey Carl shade is more natural, more like a natural flush. And then this one is definitely more neon, but I really like both shades. I was kind of scared that these were gonna be too warm for me, like slightly scared, but I feel like they are working out for me. They are very different. This is more pinky, a little softer, a little bit more like a natural flush. And this is more bright, but I feel like both look really, really good. I'm very excited about these blushes. Like, they might look a little scary because of the colors and how they look in the pan, but I'm very impressed. Okay, I just did the same trick. My skin is looking a little red, but we're just moving on. For the last blush I'm gonna try on my cheeks, I am gonna apply a little bit of bronzer before to really get the whole look, the whole vibe, the whole situation. And I'm gonna use the Nars Laguna 01. I recently got this. I wanted to try this. It's not new, but it's new to me, so I just wanted to try it out in this video as well. And I'm just gonna take a little bit to not change the color of the blush too much. Okay, this bronzer is absolutely insanely stunning. This is stunning. I love it. It is a bronzer that is gonna be more for fair skin and cool toned skin for sure. I do feel like I'm looking a little crazy, but that is just my skin. I'm gonna take a second to let it calm down. Alright, this is by far the worst day for me ever to be applying and reapplying blushes. So my favorite, I think, is gonna be Pink Ranger. I'm very excited to try this. So we're gonna grab the sponge and I'm gonna dip in twice, and let's see what this looks like with a bronzer underneath. Like, how well does it blend with other products? I have to get used to the precise application of a sponge, but I do think that applying this at first with the sponge is a really good option. I think that is looking really, really cute. That is a very cute shade. It stays very bright. Like sometimes shades of blush muddy up a little bit when you apply a bronzer underneath, but this is super cute. I'm gonna use this brush again to kind of go over the edges, but I feel like this blends in pretty easily, pretty seamlessly. Like dipping in twice when you have fair skin is like, that's a good amount, because you will get the brightness, but you can still like manipulate it, you can blend it out. I really hope this video is gonna be helpful. Like I wanted to give my thoughts ASAP because I don't feel like anyone has gotten these in yet, and I didn't want to wait for my skin to maybe get back to normal. Okay, this is absolutely one of the cutest blushes I've ever tried. I am not kidding. I am not joking. Just the edges, but I do this with a lot of blushes, to be honest. This is making me feel so cute. I feel like this is such a nice formula. I don't know what it is, but it looks so like blurred out. It looks so perfected. It looks so like nice and pigmented without being unblendable. I really, really like the finish of this. It doesn't have any shimmer, but it's not like too matte or flat. It's really like the skin-like finish. I love how I'm looking right now. I am very excited. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back with my first impression thoughts. So this is gonna be the finished look with the Pink Ranger shade. I just did the rest of my makeup. I did a few like shorts, reels, if you want to know what I'm wearing. I actually bought 4 of the Cupid's Arrow Shine by Nabla. I got all of the shades, so I did like a reel short with that if you want to see how I got this look. So let's talk about these blushes. I have to say I'm really excited. I think the quality of these is amazing. They look airbrushed, they look beautiful, they look blended, even though my skin isn't even like in any condition to actually wear blush or makeup, and I feel like you can see that there's a little bit of redness over here, but it's just completely my fault. I feel like the blushes is blended over all that very easily. They just look so skin-like. I didn't even feel like I had to wear a highlighter, even though this is not advertised as a dewy blush or anything like that. It's more like a skin-like finish, but it looks just so fresh and healthy and glowy in the best way that I didn't even feel like I needed to apply anything like that. I am very excited. I feel like these are really easy to store, very nice and heavy feeling packagings. I really like the colors. I was a bit afraid that the two warmer shades would be a little bit too similar, but I don't feel like that is the case at all. The Hey Coral is actually very flushed, very natural, and the Peach Perfect, what was it called? The Picture Perfect Peach is actually more neon and very bright. I feel like that is the brightest of them all. I really like the shades that I tried. I am excited. I am very excited. I do have to say I'm a little biased because I'm in the Netherlands. Nick Tutorials, she is Dutch, and she was one of the first YouTubers that I actually started watching like religiously. I loved her when she did the tutorials, like when she was in her whole tutorial phase. Still love her, but yeah, might be slightly biased to be honest, but I have to say I really like how these blushes look like. The eyeshadow palette wasn't my absolute favorite, I did tell you that, but these, they might be like a 2022 favorite. I have to be honest, I really like them. Alright, this is gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!